Hello, second graders. This is our second part of our reading lesson for today. We are going to listen to and follow along our shared reading story on lighting lives. So what I need you to do is I need you to find your Wonders Unit 3 book and pause the video if you need to go get it. And once you have your book, would you please open up to page 198? This is where our story is. But before we start the story, let's flip our book to page number 206, okay? And we're gonna listen to the type of genre, which is called narrative nonfiction. And then I'm gonna close out this window and we're gonna get started. So our genre for this story is an informational text, and it's called a narrative nonfiction.
Narrative nonfiction. Lighting Lives is a narrative nonfiction.
Okay, so we are going to be listening to this narrative nonfiction. So it's a story that's about a person, but it's told by a narrator. And we're going to be looking for these text features. So we're going to be looking for photos and we're going to be looking for captions when we read this today. Okay, now let's go back to page 198 and we're going to listen about how do inventions affect our lives. So we're going to be thinking, how can these inventions affect our lives? We're going to start here on 199. Please put your finger on the word when and make sure you follow along.
When Debbie Tiwa was your age, her home had no electricity. She could not flip a light switch to light a fire. She lit a candle. She could not put on a stove or light her light out. Her family cooked every night. Debbie lived in Arizona. When she was 10, she moved to a new home. Her new home had electricity. She could turn on a light and use a phone. She liked it. Debbie Tiwa lived in a home that had small windows like this one. There was not a lot of light.
So look at this home that Debbie lived in. This was in Arizona. And so this home definitely looks different than the home that you live in. So this home, you can tell, is made out of rocks, or sometimes they do mud that hardens. And it has very few windows. And as you can see, the windows don't even have glass. So you probably noticed that they probably don't get much precipitation, which is like rain or snow. So they don't have to worry about that. But they also don't get much light. And so at night, she didn't have any electricity. So she could not even flip on a light switch to read. She had to light a candle. And she didn't have a stove or microwave. Her family had to cook over a fire. So when she moved to her new home had electricity. So her life had changed and she liked that. Okay, let's turn our page to 200.
As she grew, Debbie realized she wanted to learn more about solar power. Solar power is electricity that comes from the sun. Solar panels are put on the roof of a home. The sunlight hits these panels and turns the sunlight into electricity. Debbie thought a lot about solar power. When she had an idea, she wasn't stuck. She went to work for a company that provided solar power to people's homes. She believed it would be a good solution for people who had no electricity. Debbie made solar products.
Okay, so as you can see on this page, Debbie realized she wanted to learn more about solar power. And she realized that solar power is electricity that comes from the sun. And this is a panel that she's holding. And these panels are put on the roofs. So as you can see here, there's a roof of panels and there's a roof of panels here. And when the sunlight hits these panels turn it into electricity. And so she thought a lot about this and she had an idea and she was very excited. So when you get ideas, I bet you get very excited too. And so she believed that this was a good solution for people who had no electricity. And so as you can see, she loves solving problems. So she's a problem solver. She loves solving problems. All right, let's learn more about Debbie and how she solved problems. Let's go on to the page 201, please.
Debbie Debbie also thought of people in villages, like the one she lived in as a child. The people in these small towns did not have any electricity. Solar panels were harder because there was a lot of sun around town. Debbie decided to help these families get solar power. To get a family started, Debbie had them borrow money from the bank to buy the panels. After they got the money from the bank, they had some time to pay the money back. And the good news is, there is no cost for using the sun's power. Solar panels are never
Okay, so on this page, we learned that Debbie also thought about the people in the villages, like where she grew up, and those people did not have any electricity. So she thought, how cool would these solar panels be to work on their homes? Because in Arizona, there is a lot of sun. There's a lot of sun. So she decided she wanted to help these families. But the first step was to get money to buy these panels. So they had to go and borrow money from the bank to buy the panels. Now they're borrowing the money from the bank and they're going to have to pay the bank back. But they're going to get started and put up these panels. And the good news is, in order to get the sun's power, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. The sun's power is free. So they're heating their home and getting electricity for free. Where your moms and dads, when they want to heat their home or get electricity, they have to pay for it. So this is pretty cool because Debbie is helping those families by helping them see how solar panels and solar energy can help them in their lives. All right, turn to page 202, please.
Debbie travels across lands outside cities and villages. She travels to the countryside. She helps hungry and low-income people get solar power. Debbie hurries deep in Arizona and insists her friends learn about how solar power can help them. They are happy to do what she demands. Debbie also tries to stir up that solar power to teach hungry children about solar energy. Debbie helps many happy people.
So think of all the people she's helping. Now, this is kind of making our connection question. How does Debbie help her community? So right here, we learned she travels across the land and to outside cities in Arizona and New Mexico. And she travels to the countryside to help the Hopi and the Navajo people get solar power. And she helps also at schools and summer camps to teach the children about solar energy. So she's helping a lot of people, a lot of communities, and a lot of families. All right, let's go on to this last page, 203, please.
Debbie drives her truck from place to place. It is lonely with no one there to help. Then she thinks about how exciting it was to use electricity for the first time. Now farmers can do the things you do without thinking about them. They can heat their homes or turn on lights. Debbie says she is lighting up people's lives.
So, Debbie's job can sometimes be lonely because no one is riding along with her. But then she thinks how exciting this is because people are getting electricity for the first time. And now they can do things that they wouldn't even imagine being able to do. And so Debbie is helping them heat their homes and turning on their lights. And she is lighting up people's lives. And that's exactly how they got the title of this story, which is called Lighting Lives. Debbie is doing that. She is helping them by getting light, but she's also making a big difference in their lives. And she's bringing a bright light to their lives where it was probably kind of dark and gloomy a little bit. So she's kind of lighting up their lives. So we found out many ways Debbie has helped her community. I want you to think about, could you use solar power where you live? So where we live here in Fairmont, Blue Earth, Grenada, Huntley, Winnebago, Truman, could we use solar power here? I think we definitely could. We could use it to help us give electricity to our house, to give us heat, to give us lighting to our house. This would be one way we could save energy and electricity, and then we wouldn't have to pay for it. We would just use what the sun is giving us. So this is pretty cool. If you're interested in solar power, definitely look up more information and facts about it because it is pretty cool to see what the Earth's natural resources can help provide to us. Hope you enjoyed this story called Lighting Lives.